Hello everybody and welcome back to F1 Manager 2022, and first off, an apology because I thought I recorded the Hungarian Grand Prix and I didn't. Yeah, I didn't. We actually didn't do too badly in it. Alonso scored some points. Where is it? Let's go and have a look in here. Hungarian Grand Prix at the Hungaroring. So, previous race results. We finished fourth, actually. We did really well. We probably should have got fourth and a bit higher, but Grosjean, you got hit by George Russell and therefore had to take an extra pit stop and got back to 13th. But yeah, Fernando Alonso did a one-stop strategy, finished fourth. Carlos Sainz overtaking him on the last couple of laps. Guan Yu Zhou did the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, but didn't get a point because he was outside of the top 10. But overall, pretty good, to be honest. I want to see how... You used to be able to see how you did in the last episode without just going on previous race. I thought you could just see how you did. But anyway, yeah, it was good. It was a decent race. But we're back for Belgium, which is a power track. I'm a little bit tempted to take our grid penalty here for new engine components. I know it would do us. It would do well. We do well at. We've got the potential to do well at Belgium. I'm just thinking, can we recover if we start at the back? Holland, I don't think there's enough overtaking opportunities to get it done. Italy, maybe. Italy's maybe a good one to do it at. We are getting to the back end of the season. We've managed our engines well. Singapore, potentially. I think it's a very tough Grand Prix to start at the back, though. Japan, I think if we're going to do it, we need to do it before. It's either Singapore is probably the latest, which is why I'm thinking Belgium might be the place to do it, especially maybe with Guan Yu Zhou. I think that would be a decent position to say. We'll see what happens in terms of practice. If we hit anyone off, take grid penalties in that sense, then we might just see what happens. But yeah, I'll go and do practice 1, 2, 3, and we'll be back for qualifying. Here we are then, back for qualifying, and I can openly admit that Guan Yu Zhou is going to be taking new components because he had quite a big accident which completely wrote off engine number 4. What else did it completely write off? It completely wrote off gearbox number 5, and also damaged ERS number 4 as well. So Guan Yu Zhou is going to take grid penalties and get he's going to get brand new components for everything in this race. So he's going to be starting probably at the back, but he is also then going to have a lot of extra power. I mean, gearboxes, we might be all right. 75%. We've got 2 with 75. I think gearboxes. Nah, if you're doing it, you might as well take it all, right? You might as well just take it all. We'll whack gearbox 9 in there as well. So he was very unlucky. He got shunted in the back by one of the Alpines who hit him into Daniel Ricciardo, and he got a 3-place grid penalty, which I thought was really harsh, but it is what it is. I'm sort of thinking, do we just do it for both drivers at this Grand Prix? And part of me's thinking, why would you not? I mean, 65% is still pretty good on 2 engines as well. So maybe Fernando's all right. 53 and 46. I mean, it's not amazing, is it? No, we're going to take it. We're going to take the penalties. We're going to take the penalties for both drivers, but get them in very fast cars in this Grand Prix, because Belgium's a power circuit. I think having new engines and new components is going to really help us out. Again, gearboxes, we probably don't need to, but given the fact that we can do it in this one race just to get through the rest of the season, I think it sort of makes sense. Well, doesn't matter now, does it? I've done it. So, right, here we go then. 100% confidence for Alonso, 98% for Guan Yu Zhou. In terms of track sort of acclimatization, Guan Yu Zhou got 94, I think, and Alonso got 88, because obviously we put Fittipaldi in for the first practice session. So yeah, not completely at their best, but we should be fine. So let's get into qualifying. So again, with brand new components in both cars, I'm expecting us to fly through Q1. In all honesty, there was rain in practice 1, 2, and 3. No, 1 and 2. Sorry, I'm not expecting any rain today for qualifying or for this session. I know there isn't, so I think let's send Guan Yu Zhou out early doors, as we like to do, and see if he's got lots of people going with him now, which sort of makes me feel like, well, there's a lot of, oh, that was the wrong one. There's a lot of free air there for Alonso, so that'll give Alonso a lot of free air. Right, Guan Yu Zhou starting his fast lap. He will be going around the Francorchamps circuit very quickly and sets a 1 something that got beaten straight away, which was a little bit annoying. So Yeah, I mean, look, 1.2 seconds off Verstappen. That's pretty bad. Although I know Verstappen has also taken... I think we can do it on this. So we should be fine to do it on the same set of tyres. I know that Verstappen has also taken new engine components in this race as well. So we should... I mean, everyone is putting in really slow times compared to Max Verstappen. So maybe that isn't the best sort of judgment to be using against. If you look at that, it's literally Charles Leclerc who's anywhere near him. Charles Leclerc and Sainz, Bottas 0.7, Hamilton now getting up there. But even that, what I thought was a bad lap, it's still both drivers in the top 10, so can't really complain with that one. Just need to keep an eye on when to send them out again. We're going to go out on the used tyres. I don't think we need to use a whole new set for this bit. As you can see, all these drivers just coming in. They'll be putting on fresh sets and heading out very shortly. Sainz and Hamilton, you going to have enough time to put a set on? Yeah, I think you will. There goes Schumacher. So some more people just coming out. 141 to get round, so call it 2:30 potentially to get round. So we'll send them out there. We'll send Alonso out there. I think Alonso will be at the back. Yes, he will. He'll have the most rubbered in track. A little space to Bottas as well. I am fully expecting both drivers to comfortably get out of Q1. So we'll see these fast laps as they go around. Zhou near the back, Alonso at the back. We should be seeing green, green. Yep, green, 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 yellow for Alonso. Yep, you need to refuel soon, yeah. And Zhou crosses the line in 14th. I mean, it's not amazing. Alonso's the only one left to finish, so we know he's going to be safe. But yeah, both drivers through to Q2 and both doing it on one set of tyres as well. So yeah, not amazing from Guan Yu Zhou. Should be a lot quicker, really. So both drivers into Q2. We could technically do it all on this one set, but I think, again, we'll set the banker lap on the used tyres and go with that. I think that's what we'll go for, and then get on for our second fast lap with the brand new set. Again, let's send Zhou out early. Let's send Zhou out really early. There goes Hamilton. We'll send Alonso. Oh, I was hoping to get him in the gap, but Bottas and Sainz just beat us to it. So Zhou, yeah, I'm expecting this lap to be pretty slow, to be honest, according that it's not on a fresh set of tyres, but it's a banker lap. That's what we'll use it for. He does go top of the leaderboards with a 144, but then immediately beaten by most people, as you would expect. We should see quite a vast improvement on the fresh set of softs, though, which is what we're hoping for. As Alonso comes in as well, we'll get him on the fresh set. And then I want to time this well for this one. So Alonso currently 10th, Zhou in 15th. I mean, he's nearly a whole second off, so I'm going to put that down to nothing more than the tyres playing a little bit of silly buggers, putting the soft tyres. I mean, Alonso on used tyres, still getting in the top 10 is absolutely massive. New engine part, I'm expecting Alonso to potentially be top 5. 6th, I think, is what I'd definitely expect from Alonso. He's definitely got it in him to be able to do that. So let's just speed this up a little bit until we get people starting to go out, which we know is around... Oh, they're going out in 4 minutes. That's a long time. We're not going to go out that early. That should still be plenty of time to get round, to be honest. That should be absolutely loads of time. So, Zhou... Yeah, they're going to easily both make that. There we go then. Starting their fast laps in Q2. Green, green. Green, green. You need to refuel. That's really annoying. They need to patch that out. So Zhou is 11th. And Alonso... Oh, Zhou got 11th, man. Didn't even... So Alonso 8th. So, okay. We're into Q3 with Alonso. Zhou in 12th. Stroll beat him at the last as well. So... Zhou's still lacking a bit of pace. 2/10 to Alonso. He needs to find that going into future races. He really does. As Carlos Sainz had enough time to go and do a whole nother lap. So into Q3 with Fernando then. We'll put these slightly worn tyres in for our banker lap. And then we'll come back and watch the lap with the fresh softs on towards the end. And let drivers going out straight away trying to get a little bit of advantage if they can. We're actually going to leave Fernando here and see if we can get him a nice big gap like that. And get him some clean air. Make sure there's going to be nobody in his way for this lap on the used set of soft tyres. Get him in, get him onto a fresh set, and then back out again as Alonso comes flying round. He's the last one to set a lap, and he still gets 8th fastest, even though he's on a used set of soft tyres in Q3. And I think normally the AI use the fresh set first. They use that fresh set as teams going back out again straight away. I mean, I feel like we've got quite a lot of time. We can sort of wait with Alonso there. But we know we're at the back of the queue, and we know we're going to get over and have plenty of time to jump on board with Fernando then. Here we are, Fernando Alonso on his fast lap around Belgium. Is it still looking pretty grey out there? But what can Fernando do on this fast lap? New set of soft tyres as he comes up. I love this corner, just to watch it, be in the car when it happens. Oh, it's amazing as the Formula 1 cars take that so fast. What's it called? Eau Rouge? Is that one Eau Rouge? I think it's Eau Rouge. But we're going to get the first runners sort of coming over the line now as well. Is the first one, I think, is Pierre Gasly, or is it Albon? No, it is Gasly, who is going to cross the line first. Round the chicane at the end. Pierre Gasly currently 1.3 off the pace. Pierre Gasly is going to cross the line. And we don't know. He does improve slightly. So behind him is one of the Ferraris. I think it's Sainz. It is Carlos Sainz. He's half a second off Verstappen at the moment. He crosses the line and doesn't improve. Hamilton Russell crosses. Hamilton crosses as well. Albon crosses the line. He's not going to improve too much. I think we're going to have Charles Leclerc coming across in just a minute. No, we're not. I'm so rubbish at this because it's Bottas who's just about to cross the line. He goes there. But let's focus on Fernando Alonso as he's coming around the fast corners in Belgium. He'll be coming down the line. He's got to find a bit of time. I predicted 5th or 6th. He's got to find 2/10, and he didn't set a faster sector 1, which is a little bit worrying on these tyres. He really should be going green, green, green. But, I mean, if he finds 2/10, he'll be in 8th. If he finds 2 and a bit tenths, he'll be in 7th. If he finds 2/10 and 3/100ths, he'll be in 6th. And he finds a little bit of time, and will be starting... Well, he won't be starting in 8th because he's got a grid penalty, but he hits 8th. Well done, Fernando. That was a rubbish qualifying commentary. Sorry. Apologies. So there's your running order then. Verstappen got pole position. However, he does have a grid penalty as well. Charles Leclerc, it will be a Ferrari 1-2. Atop Bottas starting in 3rd with Perez in 4th. Russell and Hamilton there, but Hamilton's got a grid penalty. Alonso with a grid penalty in 8th. Gasly 9th with a grid penalty. Albon makes up the top 10. Guan Yu Zhou starting in 12th, but with a grid penalty as well. It's going to be a very mixed grid, this one. So we are starting 18th and 20th. So this will be very, very interesting. In terms of strategy, you can do a one-stop round here. And I think we're going to try and do I'd like to do the soft to medium. I think the soft to hard gives you a little bit more leeway, though. I'd love to end on a soft tyre, though. I was just wondering if we had... There's no wet weather. What is the safety car chance? 100%. 100%. So I think the sensible thing is start on softs and go to hards. Push them a little bit harder. Go on to the hards 1 lap earlier. And I think we do that with both drivers. Or do we go with Zhou, soft to medium, and just let it run out? Manage it at the end, hope for a safety car, change up the strategy if we need to. Yeah, I think that's what we do. So we go soft to hard, soft to medium. I imagine everyone else is going to be doing probably soft to hard. As we know from the off, push, 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 and push. Hopefully, though, because there'll be some slower cars at the back, we can make up some pace, some places off the start quite quickly. So I think we go for that. Alonso will be pushing a little bit more on his soft tyres, so he should cut through the pack quite easily. Let's go and have a look. So the sun is shining here in Belgium. The wet weather has been and gone, and you can see the 2 Aston Martins right at the back, 18th and 20th. As oh wow, it must be, is that Lando Norris or Daniel Ricciardo? I think trying to make a move straight away from the back. We've got Max Verstappen down here as well, so it's probably going to be quite a lot of carnage at this first point. We've got a Mercedes down. We've got Hamilton, Alonso, Zhou, Verstappen. All very quick drivers, all starting right at the back. So we're going to need to cut through this field. What is everyone starting on? So Verstappen's going probably medium hard to get it longer, as is Hamilton. So the 2 faster drivers around us are also going... Well, they're going on a slightly different strategy. And Alonso is on worn softs already, which is something I completely forgot about. But he is up the inside straight away of Schumacher, taking these high-speed corners very, very quickly. Guan Yu Zhou now has to get it done, but he's got Hamilton for company on his side. as well. As if Alonso can just keep pace with Verstappen, I'll be very, very happy. And he may even get past him because we're on the softer tyre. So I think we can't really push Alonso too much on those tyres. We'll have to drop them off a little bit. Guan Yu Zhou, we're going to give him a whole lap to see what he can do, as Daniel Ricciardo really mounting the curb there. Verstappen trying to battle. It's such a quick lap here in Belgium, like as in the pace of it. It's a 1 minute 40 something lap, but the pace of the lap, you're full throttle for quite a lot of it. There's Verstappen just defending well, holding up, and Alonso having a little look down the inside on the Dutchman. Can't get past him. We're in Belgium. He's a Dutchman in front. I've got struggling for words today, as Zhou does get past Hamilton. I think he's got that position back off Hamilton. Him and Hamilton having a right old battle down there at the moment. And it's this Williams of Schumacher getting in the way. And he needs to get out of the way as we come into this slow chicane. Verstappen trying to edge past Ricciardo. Can't quite make it work. And now we do need to drop Zhou back into that tyre strategy to make it work. In fact, we'll make Zhou just sit back. He should naturally gain places being in a faster car. But again, we'll let this play out a little bit. Alonso sitting in 16th behind Verstappen, who is sitting behind Daniel Ricciardo, can't get past him. And now Tsunoda in the Williams. And Zhou needs to make a move on this Williams. He should have a faster car. He should have the pace. Go on, make it work. Let's put you in overtake for a little bit. See if you can deploy some battery to help you get past.
Use overtake.
Come on, little Aston. Come on. Yeah, stick your nose in. Yeah, lovely. Make it stick. Make it stick. There we go. Right, he's past him. He's got past that Williams, and he should be able to make that count. If we can get him onto the back of Alonso, actually, let's deploy. We're going to push Zhou. I know we said we were going to let him ease off a little bit, but we're going to push him. Try and get him onto the back of Alonso.
No saving required.
So hopefully, in a minute, we see Zhou gain on Alonso and can join this pack. And that's what we need from Guan Yu Zhou at this point. It's not too far ahead. You can see it up there on lap number 2. He needs to pull away from Schumacher and get up towards his teammate Fernando Alonso. And we need to try and make some moves here. And I'm hoping that if we can make some moves and get it done early, or at least stay in contention, so that when people come into pit or we come into pit, we can push on in laps and out laps and try and make up some time with undercuts and overcuts. At the moment, Guan Yu Zhou he's sort of closing the gap. It's not massive. I mean, Tsunoda's still holding. Tsunoda's holding absolutely everyone up. Although Verstappen's having a little look on the inside there, and Verstappen has got past him. So now we need to get Fernando Alonso past him as well. Guan Yu Zhou has caught up and is in DRS of Fernando Alonso, which is good. So we should be able to get both of our drivers past Tsunoda relatively quickly, I'd like to think. But it's going to be a very interesting race. Guan Yu Zhou is still pushing his tyres a little bit hard. We can probably relax that a bit and relax these now that we've got DRS incoming. As Guan Yu Zhou, he's still a second off. You really need to catch up, Zhou. You really need to catch up, mate, because this group in front is going to have DRS and they're going to pull away from you. So Alonso neutral. You stay on deploy and try and catch. You're going to have to push your tyres, Guan Yu Zhou, aren't you? You're going to have to push your tyres.
Pick up the pace a bit.
Because we are right on the back of Yuki Tsunoda. We're going to get him probably in the next section that allows a fast overtake. And Guan Yu Zhou's still not getting DRS at the moment. 1.2. He's trying to reel him in. He's trying. 1.1. He's really trying, Guan Yu Zhou. You've got to just get within that second because Alonso's making the move on Tsunoda now. And I think Alonso's passed. So we need to get Guan Yu Zhou within a second. Come on, he's nearly there. 1.099. 1.085. As soon as he gets in, I can drop his tyres. Because he won't lose pace once he's in it. Alonso, lovely to get past Tsunoda, which is good to see. Now he needs to keep pace with Verstappen. Right, he's within a second. So as soon as we get towards the chicane, I'm just going to drop his tyres off. Yeah, this will do. Drop his tyres back down to standard. You shouldn't need to push that anymore. Whoa, that's a lot of concertina in there. A little bit of a shimmy from Guan Yu Zhou. But Guan Yu Zhou now in the DRS quite easily. Should be able to make some move. Alonso's gone very, very wide there. He does just get into the back of the slipstream of Verstappen though. And hopefully Guan Yu Zhou can get this move done on Yuki Tsunoda. And then we can all leave Yuki Tsunoda behind. Because Hamilton is not within DRS at the moment. So again, let's Guan Yu Zhou into overtake and try and use that, because you can see Fernando is pulling away naturally from the Williams of Tsunoda, so I think we're in a good position here to make something work. As Guan Yu Zhou does pull to the side, he's trying to go for it. We've got such a faster car than that Williams. Just keep your nose, keep it there on the corner. Keep it there. I think Guan Yu Zhou's going to get him out of this corner into the next right-hander. Should get him, does get him. And now it's 0.9. Guan Yu Zhou just got to stay on the tail of Fernando Alonso. Doing a great job. Both drivers, I'm happy so far. 15th and 16th. So coming back on lap 8, we are still in this pack with Ricciardo and Hülkenberg. Gasly is now behind us by 2 seconds. He's dropped off. Tsunoda had a spin. He's really out of contention for catching us. But yeah, Alonso now tracking Hülkenberg and Daniel Ricciardo. Verstappen really cutting his way through the field, showing the power of that Red Bull, already up to 11th. So he's going to be hard to catch here. But Guan Yu Zhou and Alonso, I'm happy with what they're doing. I'm sort of thinking Alonso has got... Oh, his pit window's coming up. In one lap. He's got a bit of time to make these last. We could put Guan Yu Zhou onto a similar strategy and go onto the hards, and that will allow him to push the tyres. For now, I think putting Guan Yu Zhou onto the soft and then mediums is probably a bit more sensible, sticking with this, because he does still have DRS. He's not losing it. Alonso, it's just Daniel Ricciardo holding everyone up at the moment. So I'm just thinking if we go deploy for Guan Yu Zhou, let's get him right up behind Fernando Alonso, which he should be able to do while deploying. And then what we're going to do is get both of them to try and overtake. Yeah, so out of this corner, Guan Yu Zhou is going to be right up the arse of that group. So I think we should be fine to ease him off that. And in fact, we're keeping pace with them so easily. I'm thinking, do we harvest for a little bit? Although it's not really the track where you need to harvest that much. You get so much ERS back from that last really hard braking corner. But at the moment, although Hülkenberg is having a go at Ricciardo here, which is going to slow them down in front. So I think, do we go for both drivers in this section here, up into overtake, and see if we can get both of them past these two? Because this is where Alonso needs to start pushing if he's coming into pit pretty soon. And I do want to keep them both sort of to strategy, because I think it's going to work. I would be happy with 9th and 10th. I'd be happy with 9th and 10th, given that we took engine penalty, started right from the back. I'd be very happy to just get any sort of points in this race, because even Verstappen isn't back in the points yet. He's close, but he's not quite up there just yet. As Guan Yu Zhou is really gaining on Fernando Alonso here, showing a good bit of pace, Guan Yu Zhou. I know he's got some slipstream, but yeah, he's showing some very good pace. Our second driver against our first driver. And Alonso needs to speed up a little bit here. Alonso, I know it's the tyre wear is probably making a big difference. Like, he has got 20% better tyres. But yeah, Guan Yu Zhou, look at this. He's having a go. He's probably making Fernando Alonso go into a defensive manoeuvre here, which isn't going to be good having the two of them fight. But I'm all for it. I'm all for it. They've both got to show their need to the team. As Guan Yu Zhou into the chicane is going to try and get in front of Alonso, and I think he has, you know. I think he has he? They're going to both battle here. Both of them have absolutely knackered their batteries out doing that. Fernando Alonso just manages to keep his nose in front. They'll both get quite a lot of charge coming around this corner, though. As you can see, 30% charge you get just from that one corner. But what a battle between the two Astons, and it's going to carry on through a Rouge, as I'm pretty sure I've got that name right. As Hamilton trying to close the gap, still 2 seconds behind. Yeah, Ricciardo, 2 seconds off Vettel. He's the one causing this jam at the moment, which we can't get past. Do we push Fernando Alonso? He's got 2 more laps until he pits. I think he's going to knacker those tyres out, though. I'm not sure. Guan Yu Zhou having another look on his teammate. Alonso just defends him again. It's an interesting race, this. This could very well cause an accident, having us two racing so close together like this, but it's bloody good fun, isn't it? It's bloody good fun as Ricciardo, Hülkenberg, Alonso, Zhou come round the corner. Hamilton is closing the gap, so it is something we need to just be wary of. I'm very tempted to ask Guan Yu Zhou to push. Alonso's tyres are going to be going. How long can we make? We can bring him in a lap early. I'm just worried that his tyres are really dying off. Yeah, we're going to bring him in a lap early. Get him onto those hards. There still should be a safety car at some point. So let's go. No, you stay on aggressive. You stay on aggressive. Don't be silly. You stay on aggressive. I just think if we... Let's deploy both. Get them to really dump their battery and see what they can do. The question is, do we put Zhou onto hard tyres? Or do we keep him soft medium? I think for now we keep him soft medium. Stick with the strategy. We're doing different strategies for both drivers. It'll be interesting to see how it works. Alonso's going to be pitting soon. Zhou will stay out longer. Gasly comes into pit from soft tyres. I assume he will then be going on to the hards. He'll be doing what Fernando Alonso is basically doing. Right, so Alonso is pitting this lap, so we're going to get him to push everything he has and see what he can do. Pierre Gasly into the pits. He is going onto the hard tyres, so we don't need to see any more of that. Pierre Gasly doing a similar similar strategy to Alonso. So battery empty for Zhou, but we're basically going to keep him on deploy so that he deploys whatever he harvests at the moment. As you can see, well, actually Zhou's got past. I didn't realise that. Zhou has got past Alonso. As pulling out here, Hulkenberg is starting to pull away. Alonso and Zhou having another battle again. Alonso, I think, is just going to get his nose in front. Is he on the next corner? Oh, no, Zhou defends him. Zhou defends him very, very well. Given the fact that we wanted Alonso to push on this lap, I probably shouldn't have them battling, but they are, and I'm all for it, people. I'm all for it. I know a lot of you will be annoyed saying I shouldn't get them to battle, but when you're down here and you're not in the points, I think it's just entertaining more than anything. Fernando's still trying to push, but for now, there's not too much need. And Zhou is... I'm thinking about... So when Alonso comes into pit, we're going to get Zhou to harvest behind Ricciardo and Hulkenberg. I think sort of think that makes sense, right? There's no need for him to push a lot. As we're coming towards the end of this lap, lap 12, where Alonso's going to be coming in to pit, and he's not too far off the pit entrance now. We want him to come out on hard tyres just doing standard, so we're just going to drop him down and harvest up. He is pitting, so there he goes. Alonso into the pits. Zhou is in a decent position. I'm just going to have a quick look at Zhou. So Hamilton's probably going to get him. Someone else has locked up. There's something happening in Sector 1. There's a yellow flag. It's not a safety car. There's Alonso's in. Michael Schumacher's crashed. He's crashed. Is it a safety car? I still think it's just a yellow flag. So Schumacher in the Williams. Coming around the high-speed corners. I think he's coming towards the chicane. Locks up. Goes straight. Oh, that's a big crash. That probably should be a safety car. If he's in the... No, it's just... I mean, he's driving again. And, right, Alonso out. His one pit stop is done. We sort of just have to let him run this race as he comes out right next to Schumacher. So he's out in front of Tsunoda and Gasly. 15 seconds off the pace of Hamilton, who obviously still... All these people still need to pit. Gasly is the only one that's pitted so far. So let's let Alonso run that race. Guan Yu Zhou in 15th. Still fighting with Hulkenberg and Ricciardo. Hamilton right behind him. A big gap between Ricciardo and Vettel, and then Vettel to Norris. So, yeah, it's going to take a lot of work from Guan Yu Zhou to make this up. I'm not against the safety car. As yeah, Tsunoda would have got Alonso purely through DRS, so I'm not too worried about that. Alonso's going to make that work. I'm quite tempted to push Alonso. I know we're harvesting him at the moment, which is fine. I want him, that battery's full, so I'm happy for that to happen. I think what we're going to do is get Alonso to really push in a minute. Kill those tyres, potentially. Maybe have to go on the softs at the end. But both our strategies are relying... If we want high points, safety cars needed. I'm going to call it now. As you can see, some of the front runners coming in to pit as well. So lots of pit strategies happening at this moment in time. Which I think, actually, if everyone's pitting, let's go for this now. Let's get this done. Let's do it with Zhou as well. Let's get Zhou really pushing. Well, not that he's got any battery left, but... Yeah, we're going to really push here for a couple of laps and see if we can jump people, because we're not pitting yet. Zhou is up to 9th now, so yeah, we've got to make hay while the sun's shining. So Guan Yu Zhou currently in 5th at the moment, but is about to come into box, so he's going to lose that position. Yes, 17% tyres. He's been pushing them really hard, and yeah, he's now in the pit lane, so he's probably going to come back out quite far down. Alonso in 17th has really been struggling with Ricciardo. We've really been struggling to make it work. But yeah, you can see all these cars now passing Zhou. Falling down, as we said, the strategy is basically dependent on a safety car for both of them. So Zhou is going to come out behind Alonso. So you can argue that his strategy hasn't really worked. But he is on a fast tyre. So Alonso has finally got past Daniel Ricciardo, which is good. So Guan Yu Zhou now just needs to hope that the natural speed of the tyre is going to help him out a bit, because we're in pretty shocking places. Pray for a safety car. It's these tyres till the end on these settings. Pray for a safety car. Okay, we've been managing Alonso very, very manually, and he has caught up Sebastian Vettel now, so he's not far off the points. We have been pushing his tyres a little bit harder than we would have liked. He's got a bit of life in them at the end, though. So, Zhou is just sort of battling with Albon and Hamilton and getting pulled around by them, which I really don't mind. Alonso isn't out of this. He could get some points here. We need to basically absolutely bomb past Vettel and put the pedal to the floor and try and catch Norris, and then we're actually in the ranges of Norris, Magnussen and potentially Ocon as well. But we have got 3 seconds to make that happen, and I don't think we've got enough life in the tyres to do it and get to the end of the race. There's still a long way to go, only lap 28. But at the moment, Sebastian Vettel is pulling us around with his DRS, which means we could technically save some tyres whilst that happens. We could, but I don't really want to. I don't like saving tyres if I don't have to. Okay, we're going to have to do it. We've got past Sebastian Vettel. We have to go for it. We have to push. We have to push to try and get up to Lando Norris. We've got to try and break away from these guys and push onto the back of Norris. Get to Norris and then conserve our tyres and stuff. We need to take a risk. 44 laps, only 14 laps to go. Doesn't look like it's going to be a safety car, so damn it. That's all I can say about that. Damn it. Alonso has done such a good job. He is in the points and he's nearly within a second of Lando Norris. This is huge. We need this. And the tyre wear is hurting him. But if we can get within a second, he's then going to be able to conserve and drop off and use DRS to pull him along. He's doing so well, Fernando, from where he started on the grid. He's going to be affected at the end with his tyre wear, but 11 laps to go. He's so close to getting us back in range of Lando Norris. It's ridiculous. The only unfortunate bit is obviously we've absolutely yeeted his battery. Zhou is in 14th, so he's not completely out of it either. If something happens with Vettel or Gasly, him and Hamilton will pounce and take advantage. He's doing a pretty good job from where he started, but this is the point where Alonso really needs to get within the DRS range. He needs to make it work so that he can have DRS on the big long straight at the top of the hill. He's not quite going to do it on this one. He has pulled Vettel and Gasly back into this battle as well, which is good for the entertainment value. And so as we come round the corner, we are in DRS. We are in the DRS of these two in front. So we're in a much better position, and we've brought others along with us, as we said. But yeah, I don't mind that, because even if they overtake us, then we're still going to be hanging on to the back of this little group in front. 1.039. Please have DRS at the top of this hill. I'm not sure if Alonso got it there. Is that going to go green? Is that going to go green? Yes, it does. Good. So we do stick with DRS because we do have some conserving to do now. So, again, Vettel might get past us, but we're right on the back. I'm just thinking we can potentially, again, no need to harvest. We've maximised our battery intake that we can do. So we just need to try and stay with them in this point for a few more laps. We're in the points at the moment. Oh, it's so close. He's driven so well. Okay, it hasn't quite worked as I wanted with Fernando. We tried and tried and tried, but he was just hurting too much on his fuel and his tyres. He probably wouldn't get to the end of the race. If we have a look at his tyre wear, he's so below where he needs to be. We're in 10th. I think if we get passed by Vettel or Gasly or even Hamilton, Zhou span, which is why he's not on the back of Hamilton anymore, then we have to manage this and go for it on the last lap. It's so annoying there hasn't been a safety car in this race. But you don't always get what you want in life. So at the moment, we are up into the points. And I did say I'd take any points. Verstappen into 3rd is absolutely ridiculous from where he started. I mean, similar to real life, right? But yeah, he's done incredibly well in this race with a 1-stop. Just absolutely ridiculous. I mean, I don't know how far ahead of people we are. No, a pit stop would bring us out in like 18th, and it's not really worth it unless we try and go for the fastest lap to take it off Verstappen, which doesn't help. But yeah, it's been a tough race. But if you think we started in 18th with Alonso and we're up to 10th at the moment, and looks like we're not going to finish any worse than 13th, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. Zhou was 20th, wasn't he? Started bottom. He's up to 15th. So a good number of places climbed. We just need to see what it's like at the end of the race. Alonso up into 9th thanks to a spin, which is absolutely awesome. Vettel, Gasly and Hamilton on our tail though. It's going to be very close towards the end. 39% tyres for Fernando Alonso. And the fact that no one's overtaking us means we can't really push too much on anything. Ocon 1.3 seconds in front. So we're actually gaining on Ocon. But yeah, Vettel, Gasly and Hamilton are making it hard work for behind us as well. So I don't know. 5 laps to go. It could go either way. It could finish in the points. We could finish 13th. So I'm not too sure. Right, so we've dropped into 10th with 4 laps to go. Gasly getting past us, but I don't mind that because it gives us DRS, which is going to put us in a good position. Those tyres are not going to last. We're going to have to ease off the tyres a little bit. Well, they will last, but they'll be on like 10% when we finish because there's still like 4 laps to go. So, yeah, Hamilton may pass us as well, but we're still going to be in contention with a points finish. So Alonso has dropped down into 11th. His tyres really hurting him at 32%. We're so close to the points. I mean, we've got DRS on Hamilton here. I think, again, we're going to have to try and save and conserve for the last lap. And just, yeah, bang it on the last lap and try and get 10th. Because Hamilton at the moment isn't going to get any DRS. So if we can just save our ERS and then use DRS, whatever's left of our tyres, and our ERS, we're in a very good position as Leclerc started his final lap. So this will be the last lap of the Grand Prix when we get round. Although, yeah, I mean, Leclerc's all the way up there. So we've got quite a way to go before starting our last lap. And our tyres are already at 31%. 0.6 off the back of Hamilton. So we are struggling to keep up with him slightly. We're going to have to push those tyres. Sorry, Fernando. We can't ease off that much. We can't afford to let that get more than a second because Hamilton's closing the gap on Ocon as well. So, it could be so close. We just need to make sure we stay in DRS, which at the moment we're not doing. We're going to have to deploy some battery just to make sure that we keep that gap short. We really are. What are the tyre wears doing? Yeah, he's on 53%. Yeah, we're by far and away got the least tyres here. We are in that DRS though, so that's it. Final lap, I think, yeah. Final lap, right. Send it, push it, attack it. I don't care if your tyres have gone, mate. And Joe, come on. Attack, push, deploy. Let's see what Joe can do on the last lap as well. Right, Fernando. Let's see if you can do this against Lewis Hamilton. 0.8 away. He's going to have DRS as well. I don't think we're going to have enough to get it done, to be honest. I think it's going to be very tight. Don't think we're going to have enough. Fuel is very, very close, actually. We might have to keep an eye on that because pushing our fuel here might mean we don't actually finish the race, which could be a right nightmare. We may have to leave that as balanced because we're on 0. But we are catching up because Hamilton is battling. We're pushing our tyres. We just need one more place. We need 1 place to get in the points. I don't care who we beat. We just need 1 place. That's it. We just need this 1 place. Leclerc wins it. Sainz seconds. Verstappen up to 3rd from like 19th, which is ridiculous. Come on, Fernando. Come on, Fernando. On the last lap. Get Lewis. Get Lewis or Esteban. I don't mind. Get one of them. Gasly to spin. That would be amazing. Then we all get points, except for Pierre Gasly, who me and my wife don't like. Come on. You're coming into the final little bit. He's pushing as hard as he can. Bless his little Spanish heart. No one's moving an inch. No one's budging. I don't think we're going to get it done because we're coming down towards the chicane now. You see a whole host of people just starting to finish. It's going to be 11th, isn't it? It's going to be 11th. We pushed his tyres maybe a little bit too hard at the beginning, which meant he lost them there. But 11th place, I'll take that. Guan Yu Zhou right on the back of Kevin Magnussen. I don't think he's going to be able to make this one work. No, he's not going to get it through either. And, yeah, not a bad race. Not a bad race. I think we took the engine penalties. We knew that may be a problem. It sort of affected us. But Alonso's gone from 18th to 11th, so gained 7. And Zhou's gone from 20th to 16th, gaining 4. So we maybe could have done like a medium-soft, medium strategy, thinking about it, and just pushed all the way. But not a bad race. No points. It's the first time in a long time we haven't got any points. But taking the engine penalties now, I think, puts us in a good position for the rest of the season. So, not bad. Yeah, so there you have it. Max Verstappen gaining 13 places. Absolutely ridiculous. Pierre Gasly up 11. Fernando Alonso up 7, which I was happy with, the same as Lewis Hamilton. Hamilton just edging us to the points there. Guan Yu Zhou up 4, but look at this. Yes, Tsunoda, Hulkenberg, Ricciardo, Schumacher, Magnussen, Norris, Vettel and Albon all dropping quite a number of places. But Ferrari started 1-2 and they finish 1-2. So good weekend for Ferrari. Into the Drivers' Championship, Valtteri Bottas overtakes Fernando Alonso. He leads him by 5 points. Guan Yu Zhou stays in 10th. In the Constructors, we remain 4th, which I'm very happy with, according that we didn't score any points. Alfa Romeo gain on us by 14 points, closing the gap to 4. So they're our rivals. That's who we've got to start beating in every single race now. And that's it. We've done our engine penalties for the season. We can go into the rest of the season knowing that we can attack throughout with the engines we've got, which is a very nice feeling. So a new ATR period has started today, so we'll be researching some new components for next year. It was a difficult race, but we took our engine hits there, so I'm not too fussed about that. We do have development points for Guan Yu Zhou, which we're going to go with... What did I say I wanted to do? I think I said I'd get all of these to 83, didn't I? I think is what I said. So Guan Yu Zhou had one, and Drugovic after his run as well in FP1, which was good. And yeah, so Fernando Alonso has high morale and his contract's expiring, and I'm more than happy to give him a new contract. So 9 million, all of that. Let's go 2 seasons. Offer that contract. Fernando, do you want to accept? Do you want to accept? Maybe, yes, maybe, yes, maybe. Accepted. Renew that contract with Fernando Alonso. We'll keep him driving for Aston Martin with another 2 seasons, which I'm very happy about. So that keeps us Fernando Alonso for the rest of this year and next year. Guan Yu Zhou for the rest of this year and 2 years after that. And Drugovic for this year and 1 more year as well. Or maybe this year and 2 more years for Drugovic, if I can try and figure out that contract. But yeah, I'm happy with that lineup. Lovely stuff. Next up is the Dutch Grand Prix, I think. Yeah, which I'm glad we've got our new engines in for that. A shorter lap. Hopefully we can qualify well, get a good position in there, get back into the points. Well, there we go. Let me know, did I do the right thing by taking the new engine penalties there and stuff? It's we've got 28 million. We've got 28 million. I've been wanting to upgrade this factory for absolutely ages. Or we could do, oh yeah, we'll do the CFD simulator and the wind tunnel, because both of those are going to give us car improvements, which is absolutely epic. We need 10 million for the suspension centre, 8 million for the car pass centre. My aim is to get all of these maximised, basically, so that we can have the best car possible by design. But yeah, there we go. Anyway, we'll be back for the Circuit Zandvoort in the next episode. Catch you then. Not many more races to go. So getting close to the end of the season, and I'm loving our driver linership. Driver lineup partnership. This video ended with me not being able to speak. It started with not being able to speak. Let's leave it there. Catch you in the next one. Cheers.